What if the most dangerous weapon in history wasn't a sword or a plague, but a rumor? What if fear itself became law and the sick were declared enemies of the living? Tonight, we enter a world where suspicion meant death and where an invisible conspiracy left very real bodies behind. I'm Dr. Aiken, and this is Dr. Aiken Archives, a channel dedicated to immersive, cinematic explorations of history's darkest and most misunderstood moments. If you're drawn to the forgotten, the forbidden, and the uncomfortable truths buried beneath time, I invite you to subscribe and step into the past with me. Because what we're about to uncover didn't just happen once. It echoes. I'm standing now in a shadowed medieval street. Somewhere nearby, a bell rings. Not to mark the hour, but to warn. The year is 1321, and Europe is tense. Harvests have failed. War has drained kingdoms. Disease stalks the imagination, even when it hasn't yet arrived. People are desperate for explanations, and desperation makes fear persuasive. In the early 14th century, illness was not understood through medicine. It was understood through morality. Disease was believed to be a sign of divine judgment, written directly onto the body. Lepers, visibly marked and already cast out from society, were forced to live on the margins, outside city walls, in isolated hospitals, ringing bells to announce themselves as they passed. Legal codes from the period describe them as civilly dead, and in moments of crisis, the dead have no rights. I step into a candlelit hall, reconstructed from descriptions found in royal registers. Here is where the story ignites. According to records preserved in administrative documents of the French crown, rumors began to circulate that lepers were poisoning wells. Powder, they said. Secret mixtures dropped into drinking water. The claim made no sense, but it didn't have to. Fear filled in the gaps. A contemporary chronicle describes how the accusation spread from village to village in days. Lepers were seized, interrogated, beaten. I stand now in a low stone chamber, firelight flickering across iron restraints. Confessions were extracted under torture. Some claimed they were acting on orders. Others named accomplices. Their words were written down by officials, copied into reports, and sent onward. Pain became evidence. Here, fear hardens into law. The conspiracy becomes real, not because it exists, but because authority embraces it. Royal inquiries are launched, seals are pressed into wax, commands spread faster than reason. Lepers are condemned in entire communities, erased in a single decision. Years later, buried in legal commentary, comes the admission. No poison was ever found. No well was ever proven to be poisoned. But in 1321, truth was no longer something to be discovered. It was something to be declared. This is the Royal Archive. Here we find letters from local officials describing public panic, crowds demanding executions, wells sealed, accusations multiplying. And soon, the story widens. The confessions, shaped by fear and torture, begin to name others. Jews are accused of supplying poison. Foreign enemies are invoked. Old prejudices snap into place with terrifying speed. A report from a regional magistrate describes how Jewish communities were attacked after being blamed for orchestrating the plot. Homes were looted. People were killed or expelled. The conspiracy had become a net, widening to catch anyone already seen as different. And all of it rested on testimony produced in agony. Let's go to the ruins of a medieval leper hospital, a charitable institution, destroyed not by disease, but by fear. Thousands were killed or displaced across multiple regions. Property was confiscated. Communities vanished. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the panic faded, leaving silence behind. What makes this moment so important is not only what happened, but when it happened. This was decades before the Black Death. The Great Plague had not yet arrived, and yet the pattern was already established. Disease imagined as conspiracy, outsiders blamed, authority weaponized panic. When the plague finally came, Europe already knew exactly whom to accuse. The crowd behind me is indistinct. This story is medieval, but its mechanics are modern. We recognize them instantly. Fear searching for a face, complexity replaced by accusation, violence justified as protection. The Leper Conspiracy of 1321 was not a misunderstanding. It was a choice, made again and again by individuals, communities, and institutions. A choice to believe a story that made suffering feel controllable. A story that promised safety through exclusion. History does not repeat itself exactly, but it remembers, and it waits. As long as fear is easier than understanding, these patterns remain close at hand. I'm Dr. Aiken, and this has been Dr. Aiken Archives, where the past isn't distant, and the shadows are never finished speaking.